ladies.
No, actually, by the way, I kid you not, this has been debunked. You guys are talking about the wage gap, and it's been debunked. Men are better negotiators.
They
because
are.
they are less agreeable. Hi guys, karibuni is the crib sheet. Today tunaongea juu ya juggling work and parenting as a single parent, right? And it's fantastic that we are having this conversation with these two ladies who are boss babes, maze. Wanakafunga. Ukitaka sponyo, mumama. Bonga kwa comments kwanza. Bonge kwa comments. So, why are you looking at me like that? Sini marketing. So, let me ask you guys, when we talk about a healthy work-life balance, do you guys feel like it's a scam? You guys have been able to crack that nut?
I don't know about you, Sheila, but for me, it is a scam. I think it's one of those things that is so elusive. Just when you think you figured it out, then something happens and you're like, oh snap, I have really not figured this out. So I don't think work-life balance is a thing. I don't. I don't know about you, Sheila.
How about you, Sheila?
It's a scam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I think there's just too much to balance. Home, work, the children as well, that's totally different. And then just how do you just enjoy yourself as a mother, you know? You always need to get some time for yourself. And at times you lose that balance and then unajita kama mkunji kidogo.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me ask, the reality of it, when you're saying that there are times you'll slip up somewhere, what do you find you usually end up sacrificing more often? Is it the family life or is it work responsibilities?
I think at times where I'd feel guilty is when it comes to the children. Because, you know, we have all this mindset like you need to make that money. You need to work right because you can't afford to lose that job. So you're always balancing work, your biasharas, and then you also need your time to meet people because you're always saying we need to network. That's your net worth at the same time. So I think where the kids are concerned, that's where you really need to look at things differently. And I think for me, that's when I decide, okay, we're every month we're going to do this with you. Probably we need to go out for dinner, try out new places, or we're going to cook with the kids because every other time we don't have that much time as single mom. So most of the time it's the house help, sadly, who does the cooking. If you ask me when was the last time I went to the kitchen, I tell you for sure that was like 2 weeks ago, and we decided let's do pizza in the house. So that's the time I went in, and this is because a friend of mine came. So we just decided to cook pizza for the kids, spend time with the kids, and we just call it our weekend. So it feels good when you spend time with them, but at times we get lost.
Yeah.
So
no, I do agree with you. I think when you lose balance, a lot of times you sacrifice yourself. So you're giving everything, like Sheila is saying. So you're working very hard because you need to provide for the kids. You need to be there because remember you're the only parent. So if you're not there, then so you have to be there. Sheila and I are both in school, so you still need to go to school because you need to advance your career. Actually, funny thing is, we've been saying that we want to join a golf club, and here we are. We even have time.
Is it 2 months?
It's been 2 months later. We've been saying we need to find a club, we need to join. And to be honest, when you really look at your schedule, you're like, okay, so where exactly am I going to slot it in? You know? And actually, I think it's probably also one of the challenges we face when dating, if you're seeing a man who does not understand everything, because I mean, you're telling them, I can't see you this Saturday, I can't see you the next Saturday, I don't have, and they're like, are you really in this thing? And you're like, I am, but you know, so a lot of times you end up sacrificing yourself because you don't want to sacrifice anyone else.
Yeah.
So when you're dropping the ball, I'll tell you for sure, for me, when I know I'm dropping the ball on myself, because I'll suddenly get so fatigued and I'm like, okay, clearly I've not had time to rest. But even then, when you're taking rest, you need, something has to be sacrificed. So you have to either miss class, or there's a Sunday you were meant to take the kids out. You decide, okay, I'm not going out, I have to take a nap, you know. So I don't know. I really don't think there's always something that a ball will drop, and mostly when the ball drops, it's you dropping yourself, unfortunately. Yeah.
I'd say for men, it depends on whether the guy is full time. You know, in the example of, let's say, a widower or in a divorce and he ended up with custody, there is no such thing as work-life balance, because what you'll find is he will actively have to say, look, I'm going to forgo my career. Because, you know, for a man, you're expected to work extra long, even before management thinks maybe we can advance his career. If you're a single father, you don't have that. You do not have that.
Yeah.
In my case, where I'm co-parenting, it's a lot easier for me. We usually joke that I am a weekend dad, right? So mine is usually just about knowing I'm going to sacrifice, let's say, going out. I'm going to sacrifice maybe going to the gym so I can get the kids and we spend time together. But again, this is a topic that I feel is very heavy for single mothers. And I guess single fathers who are full-time, not people who are co-parenting.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I know with the mother of my children, there are days she'll call me up and she'll tell me, listen, Chief, I need this weekend. You're taking them. And it's like, okay, cool. I fully understand. That's fine. Yeah. So my perspective is very limited.
Yeah. Let me just ask that question. You talked about career and how hard you as a man are expected to work. Do you think today's workplace is friendly does it support dads being parents?
I haven't been in an office for a very long time. I work for myself. I work from home. So I'm very flexible.
Yeah.
However, thinking back to when I had like a career, right? I'd say the thing about workplaces is they are not understanding of a man who says, I want to spend time with my children. There's a lot of feel-good conversation from your HR. Says, yeah, we support you, you go be involved. But reality qua ground is different, because you'll find in the job I was doing, running Pasho, I'd be expected to be working on weekends. Even on the weekends, I have my kids.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Even if it's a training and it's happening on the weekend, I'd be looked at like, yo, this guy is lazy if I say, no, I can't, I have the kids. So there are days actually twice we've done trainings back then. And I took the kids with me to the office. Also so that I could show these guys, you need to understand, I am a father. I'm the one with the kids. You have put me in this situation. I'm coming with my children. Right? And even then, there wasn't any real understanding. There wasn't any real understanding. It's almost like, how dare you? This is a bother.
You look like you're being lazy.
This is a bother.
Oh, wow.
Men don't get the same sort of understanding that a woman would.
Yeah. But I'm also curious, from you, Sheila, what do you think? Do you think workplaces or the corporate, does it support moms? Especially single moms?
I think there's some that do, and I think that is for, I think the three of us at some point. No. You and I used to work in an agency, or rather, we come from an agency background, and it gets really, at times you clearly don't find the balance, and even at times your bosses don't understand that you really need the weekend to work from home, or work with your children. So every other time you're either being called back to the office and you're wondering, okay, who's going to take care of the kids? But I can say for me, I've been very fortunate. I think my bosses at the agency were amazing. And I know this one boss, I know Carrie, you know the guy, he's very tough. But when it comes to family matters, and if you just tell him that your son is sick or you need to do something with the children, he'd totally understand. And he'd, you know, as in just give you the opportunity, okay, work from home. Because I used to have house girl issues when my son was young. That is my firstborn. And I used to tell him, just so you know, I don't have a house girl for tomorrow. Yeah. And he'll be like, just work from home. And this is a dude, right? He doesn't have children, but he's very passionate about family matters. Yeah. So I guess it differs from one organization to another, but I have been very fortunate to have good bosses. Yeah. So
okay.
It worked for me.
Yeah. All
right. So when push comes to shove, how do you guys actually deal with finding a balance? And here I'm talking about, like, you know, financial support, school fees. The kids want to go out, and both of you are also young ladies. So how do you handle it when you want to go out and chill with your friends?
Luckily we are friends. Luckily we are friends. Yes. So when we want to hang out, we hang out with the kids. So the kids meet the kids, the friends meet the friends. But I mean, to be honest, this might not sound like the best thing. I'm a good mom, guys. I try. But imagine if sometimes I really want to go out, I end up going out at night so that I have Saturday with him. I mean, at least Sunday with him. But also, I think the one thing that I've also really appreciated is also having mom friends. Because then what will happen is I want to go out with my friends. My son wants to go out with his friends. We all want to bond. So how about have a nice little party together, you know? So that's how I'd say I'd handle it. But to be honest, community, you know, the way they say it takes a village, it really does take a village. It takes a village. And I think one of the things, I think we spoke in one of the shows is, especially when it comes to travel, I'm the only parent. So when I'm traveling, I'm leaving my son with a house help who's a stranger. Well, not really a stranger, but I'm leaving my son with the house help. But just having a sense of community where I always say when I'm traveling, I will always tell someone when I'm traveling. So I'll tell my parents that I'm traveling. I'll tell my brothers that I'm traveling. I'll tell those people close to me that I'm traveling. And so what they do is they'll keep popping in and just checking, you know, what's happening and all that. Yeah, they touch base. And then I also have, you know, sometimes you'll see someone who's offered and they're like, no, bring the kid to me. And I also have, interestingly, very, very good neighbors. Who come through. Yeah, they come through, who will call you and tell you, I've checked on your son, he's fine. And they're like, yeah. You know, at least when you know there's someone next door who can check. Yeah, so for me, at least that's the one thing I've learned is allowing community into my space. Because, I mean, how else do I do it?
And I think it's also allowing the right people into your space. What Carol said is true. At times, Carol, Esther, and I, we go like 3 months.
Hi, Esther.
We haven't seen each other. So we just have a quick chat and we're like, you know what, let's all meet together with the children. Yeah. We either go at Carol's or at my place, and you know, it's just the kids having fun, the mothers having fun. Esther is not a mom yet, but she's
a lovely auntie.
So she gets to spend time for ourselves, and then the kids, and then maybe the help of the house is now the one to just make sure everything is happening. Because at times we end up being the ones cooking, just boiling in the kitchen. About the neighbors, that's very true. Because I have one amazing neighbor, chairman, right? So him and the wife, whenever I travel, I get to tell him, so just so you know, I've traveled. So what he'll do, one, he'll definitely, when he gets home, he'll go and check up the kids, the nanny. Number two, Nathan, because he's in grade 6, he'd go and check his homework and then sign the diary.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and sign the diary.
That is a blessing.
If there's anything and probably I'm not around, he'd definitely come through. Like, he's one of those reliable people. And then I have my sister, I have my mom, who's always flexible to just come over and stay with the kids. So when she's around, my neighbor doesn't really. He'll just pass by, say hi. Is everyone okay?
Yeah.
Well and good, right? And then you have to tell your friends. One thing, just tell your friends, because if your nanny is not picking up, 3 hours, you need to tell someone to go home.
Yeah.
And the people who actually just drop everything and go are your very close friends. So I think you also have to be intentional with the people you welcome into your space, and then the people you also welcome to have that bond with your children. So I'd say about Nelly, Eve, Esther, Carol. So like it's an entire community that I don't mind them just dropping by and saying hi, are you okay, is there anything you need? So that's very, very important for every mom.
Now let me ask you guys, do you think there is such a thing as a better parent? Bear with me, and I'm talking about like gender-wise. Is mom the better single parent or dad the better single parent? Bear with me. I'm asking because there is Pew research that states single fathers are more financially stable than single mothers. Therefore, it stands to reason that they are more capable of offering their children a better home environment, right? Because, for example, the example that we have is in America, where single fathers out-earn single mothers by almost $20,000 a year. So a single father will earn about $40,000 on average. A single mother will earn about $26,000 on average. So does that mean that maybe single dads are better?
Are they really? Are they?
Do they even have that money?
Are they really?
Well, because I'm just about to ask, where is that money?
Yeah.
Because I can see it. In terms of earning, it depends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also,
you're either in business. It's not like everyone is employed to get that huge sum of money as salary. So I think it depends what they do. So I don't really believe in that. But yes, most of the time in workplaces, the men would end up securing a higher salary compared to the women. I just don't get it at all. But maybe we are the ones who know how to.
It's not about
manage the little that we have.
No, actually, by the way, I kid you not, this has been debunked. You guys are talking about the wage gap, and it's been debunked. Men are better negotiators.
They are
less agreeable.
And they believe in themselves more, apparently, than we do.
But one could argue, I can't believe I'm going to make a point against men. One could argue that time dedication that he has to give to the company to justify that salary would make him an absentee father. So yes, he has the kids. Yes, he's at home, but he has to work from very early to very late. So,
okay.
Then what?
So putting that aside, here's what I'm thinking. Having money is not a definition of being the better parent, right? Because I can tell you for sure there are so many single moms out there whose baby daddies or father to their children are like well loaded, but right? So I feel like the amount of money I earn is really should not determine whether I'm a better parent or not, right? Because I feel like, I don't know whether this is just something. I don't know whether it's a real theory or what. But have you seen people, especially those people from those generations, men die, and then you realize, oh my goodness, this guy had wealth, but they lived a below normal life.
Separation.
As in, so why were you saving all that money? As in, can't we live life now?
See, that's his legacy.
For what?
He's left it for you, for his children.
No, the guy has died. It's unclaimed wealth. How has it helped anyone?
If you know about it, how is it unclaimed?
Well, or you realize the guy had all these, but so now what do we do with it? We suffered when we suffered. Now we are old. We've made our own money.
And I think at most most of the time when you get such, let me call them dads, who hold everything to themselves. When they die, that's when the entire family wants everything that he had and misuse it.
Exactly.
So I think even as parents, as dads, we need to let's teach our children how to to swim in wells, probably.
No.
Enjoy
Enjoy the
well, as in,
life.
enjoy that life, so that
Yeah.
even when you pass on, that they know how to manage whatever you left them behind. So I think it's more of educating them. But still, in terms of the mullah, I think women really know how to manage with the little that they have. The man would definitely, Tim will go out for drinks.
Yeah, and throw a few
The
hours.
next and then.
Yeah.
So when Mama calls and he's like, okay, we need money for food. Guy, you remember that drink you bought? You're like,
There was a whole body that needs to be paid
so
for.
I think we know how to manage. We'll start home first. Make sure there's food, there's shelter, fee is paid, and
I
then
think the
whatever
society
you're
actually-
left.
No,
with is what you
imagine.
will-
Because-
you go out.
Yeah,
with.
exactly.
What you'll find is when you look globally, it's women who hold majority of debts. By the
Huh?
way. Yeah.
No, we need to look at that research.
Globally,
It's
it's
wrong.
women
No,
who
it's
hold
very okay.
majority
Even
of
billionaires have debts.
Why? So are they in debt because they're providing for their families, or are they in debt because they went to sherehes?
With women, it's usually largely. I'm not saying it's everyone, but it's like 90%. It's frivolous expenditures.
Like what?
And
Shoes
I'll
and
explain to
hair.
you why. I'll explain to you why. A guy, and I don't know why women don't understand this. When a guy is alone and he's single, he can lead a very simple life. A guy will be perfectly happy in a bed sitter, sleeping on the floor.
Selfish.
Earning $1 million, Bob.
Yay.
Because?
He'll have, in the corner, he'll have a big ass TV. He'll have PS5.
And he's good to go.
Yeah, he's happy.
Until he gets a mama.
Right?
That complication.
Exactly. But you see, it depends on who you're going out with. So if you go out with someone who's all about, I mean, why are you living in a bedsitter? Why aren't you living in, I don't know where? Where do people live nowadays that is like super Nyari and sijui, all those nice places? Tunaonanga kwa Google.
But no, okay. I want to ask a different question now. You're single mothers, right? What parenting style do you guys use to ensure your kids don't notice that gap? Because I'll give my example. Mine is, my example is low-hanging fruit. We co-parent, right? Yes, she has the kids majority of the time, but we have made an effort. I know I've made an effort to let my children know you're not bastards. You know your father, you know your heritage. Knowing your father means you know where your inheritance is coming from, right? And I'm very, very, very clear about that.
Yeah.
So while my children do know, and it does bother them that we don't live together, like let's say their friends' parents, right? They at least know I have my dad, I have my mom. They love each other. They're just not. They have that love for agape.
It's
Look at
there.
me going to see her. Unaona, equal. Yeah. So what do you guys usually do?
Sheila, you want to go?
I'd swing by materialistic stuff. Over the weekend, let's go pick something for yourself. You get a remote car which goes for 2,000 and above. The rest is broken.
All the time.
Yeah. So there's that, and then just spending time with them, especially when they're we're approaching midterm next week. So I try to secure a few days of work to spend time with them. Weekend Sunday is for the children. That we don't touch. So it's church and then the children. And then I think you go holiday for holidays with the kids, and make sure even when you're not there, they're either with the grandma, the aunties, or Auntie Carol because of your son. So just see how you can play around with those.
Yeah.
Would you look out?
I'm trying to wonder. Okay, so there's the overcompensation bit where, like she's saying, sometimes we'll just spend so that because daddy is the one who normally throws money at us, so let me throw money at you and spend. So there's that. But I'm also thinking, to be honest, I feel like he would still desire a father. He would still need that, because I'll give you an example. My son is 7. There are games that he's playing. Honestly, I am unable to play. He'll want us to go and I remember there's a time we went out and he wanted us to do monkey bars together. And I struggled doing monkey bars. And I'm thinking, this is what the dad would be doing, you know? But the interesting thing was there were men in the team who actually noticed my struggles, and one of them actually offered. And they went and they played. They were all over the monkey bars. And then there was rope climbing. They went up. So there are games I'd struggle to play, to be honest. So I feel like sometimes there's that gap that I might not be able to fill. But also just being intentional and saying, okay, so whatever a man can do or what a man should be doing in his life, can I get someone to come in? Yeah, so my bro would come and they'd go and wash the car, whatever. Yeah.
Actually, that's actually pretty dope, because ultimately, and I always say this, you cannot, like, the lioness will never be able to raise the cubs into lions.
True.
It takes a lion, because
do the job,
the child needs to socialize and understand not just what is a man's role in society and the family, but what's a good man.
Yeah.
You're getting?
Yeah.
I think the challenge most times is just finding that man to hang out with. Because I think it's you decide on a neighbor and then the next day you're like, okay, when I move, what happens? You decide on a cousin and then you realize, wait, you're broken. And then I don't want you close. So I think the challenge for all single mom is, who is that best person?
Yeah.
Because I have a brother, but he's never here. They always talk on phone. But I feel they need someone who's meant to be very present, very consistent in terms of you checking up on them, because you need to create that bond. And I've always been talking to my friends, because Nathan is meant to go through circumcision either end of this year or sometime next year. And I still don't have someone that I have identified a few. Number one, the neighbor, right? They have a special bond. And it's either my brother comes to help him do that. But you see, they don't have that bond.
Yeah.
So I think the challenge is always just identifying that man that you want to bring home, and not really a lover, but as in that man who's going to sit in the gap and say, I'll just take care of your boys and I'll just be able to support them. So it's really hard. It's a challenge. Maybe it's a session for another day.
Yeah.
But we need guidance on that.
Yeah, for sure.
So let me ask, what creative or modern ways have you guys come up with? Not only to juggle work and life, but within the context of, life is panda shuka. You'll have a house help today, tomorrow there's an issue. Yeah. There's also a lot of insecurity, and kids, let's tell the truth, kids are at risk right now.
Yeah.
We have a lot of sickos. So how do you guys juggle it?
Yeah.
And I'm saying this just to give you a bit further context, in the sense that there's a video I'd seen of a child predator. And when he was asked what he looks for in a victim, he pointed out certain things. For example, a household where either the father is not there or is checked out. Right? A household where mom is always working.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's very scary, because when you see how deliberate these predators are,
they know what they're doing.
Yeah. And it's scary.
Yeah, that's crazy. When you really think about it, that's actually really crazy. I think for me, to be honest, prayer. I know this, but I pray for my son all the time. But the one thing I've also tried to be very intentional about is allowing us to be friends. Like, tell me if anything happens to you. So one of the most difficult conversations we've ever had to have, but I had to have it again and again, is to tell him, no one should touch you here or here or here. And if anyone does that, tell me immediately. Okay? Just having those conversations and also just telling him, you can't also walk around touching little girls, don't do that. So we've had that conversation, and it's something I always have to do. But also just having an open conversation, where if I'm away and I come back, I'm like, or even before, just have a conversation and ask him, are you okay? Did you eat? How did you shower today? Who did you play with? And to be honest, for me, the one thing I'm always scared about is abuse, because I'm like, I don't know what I would do to myself if I ever heard that my son was abused because I had traveled for work. Like, imagine your job, I don't know so it's one of those biggest fears I have. And for me, it's a deliberate conversation for this is not right. When you feel uncomfortable about something, let me know. Because the other thing I also realized, to be honest, in as much as kids are very honest and naive, they have a gut feeling. They always have a gut feeling. They will know when something is off. They might not be able to point it to you, but they will know something is off. So just having an open relationship where he knows he can tell me anything. So I think for me, my biggest struggle is as he grows up and he begins to think now mommy is not the right person to talk to, I need to have figured who is that person he can talk to. Yeah, so I don't know.
I think we should just pray for these children. And as single moms, single dads, the world is watching. Like people always believe, if you're coming from a single mom, that's why, or maybe that's why, as in, there's a conversation, and it's just been, I think we just need to pray for our children, because whether you're there or you're not, anything can happen. Anything can happen because your brother did this, or the neighbor decided to, or your child decided to go and, touch, as you said, as in, don't touch other children as well, because I'm telling you, no one should touch you. So I think let's just pray for our children and hope for the best. No one is a perfect parent, by the way. So we all learn every single day. Chim, yesterday you learned something new. I learned something new. And these kids will shock you because we are not in the same generation. Exactly. So how we were raised is not the same way we need to raise them. You're talking about being friends with your kid. The other day, my son just came and told me, there's something I've done, but I can't tell you. I'm like, what? Why? I was like, but if I tell you, you're going to punish me. I'm like, but if you've done something wrong, I need to punish you. Yeah. But he's like, but it's on my journal. I'm like, so can I have your journal and read? Not now. I'll give it to you by the end of the year. Okay, so I'm still looking for that journal.
Let me tell you, I will look for myself. Hey,
I like that boy.
If you're watching this, dear son, I will read your journal.
Let me tell you. So I think with the children that we're raising, God first, and then let's just figure it out. Pole pole. No one is perfect. Our parents aren't perfect, but here we are.
Yeah.
Blessings.
Yeah. No, but also maybe just to add to what she's saying is also talking to other parents and getting to hear their experiences. Yeah, like how are you doing this thing? How are you navigating it? And to be honest, the other thing I've also discovered is people have very different parenting skills, styles. Like the way I was parented is totally different. But just talking to other parents, getting to hear their opinions and learning. Yeah.
It's a wrap. It's been real. We have some deep conversations, and it's always eye-opening. There's always something to learn. So don't forget to like the video and leave a comment. Yeah, give us your opinions on what we've discussed today, even topic suggestions. Yeah. I've been Chim. I am Chim, rather.
Sheila
and Carol.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Can you go?
Yes. I'll see you.
Please go catch your flight.
Yes. Don't forget your necklace, sir.
I want.